Hey everybody, and welcome back to Dreamland. Last episode we upgraded our creeper farm into a pirate ship, and then we built this mega volcano you see behind me. And this episode I think we're going to do something kind of similar. We're going to take an old farm, upgrade, decorate the mess out of it, and I think the iron farm is a good candidate for today's episode. So, let's go. And this here is our current iron farm tucked away deep in the jungle. And I may have forgotten to press record when I built two smaller temples directly behind it. But have no fear, you'll be seeing a lot more of those temples while I'm in the background building giant plants and insects, trying to give a little bit of life to the jungle. And a few of you may be able to notice that I'm using Litematica. One of my goals this year is to learn some of the tools that pro builders use on a daily basis, like Litematica and World Edit, and that means a few of these builds are not mine. Some builders will put their creations online for you to be able to download and build in your own world, which might sound a little bit cheaty, but it's actually one of the best ways to get better at building. Sometimes you just need to replicate the pros to better yourself. And as an added bonus, the iron farm has been running the entire time I've been over here building. And if you're wondering where I got the schematics for this beautiful flower you see here and a few of the plants that you're going to see later on, it's from a very talented builder named Horace. I'll link his channel in the description below, and I highly recommend checking it out. He's got some amazing builds over there. It's a lot of inspiration. And with this flower complete, I have a good point of reference on how to scale the rest of the builds in this area. Alright, I'm going to give you guys a quick tour of the Iron Farm Temple. And once you're inside, you're in this lovely courtyard, has a waterfall and a small pond. Behind that waterfall, up that scaffolding, is an AFK safe spot where you can AFK and let the Iron Farm do its thing. If you keep going around the corner, you're greeted to the kill zone and the collection zone. Couple barrels might have a little bit of loot in them. That's not for me to say. That's for you to find out. Anyway, let's get back to building. Now the next plant I want to build is this giant drip leaf. I really need to bring a different shade of green into this jungle. And I didn't exactly have the correct type of blocks for this build, so I tried to replace a few with moss instead, but it's too dark of a green, so later on I'll change the moss blocks into lime green concrete so it blends in a little better. And after seeing how good the first one looked, you know I had to build something similar on the opposite side. One of my favorite things to add to this world are these giant cattails. You put these up against any river and you immediately bring a lot of life to the world. So now I want to shift my focus to decorating the smaller temples because later we're going to fill these with redstone. I also decided to clear some land and put a third temple over here just so things are a little more spread out. And right here, hanging over the middle temple, I'm going to add some slightly darker colored drip leaves. That way the background blends in together but isn't all just jungle trees. I'm also going to add a few giant bamboo shoots, and I'll be completely honest, I forgot bamboo blocks were a thing until editing this video. And now I'm actually going to go deep in the jungle to build some tall grass, because the background of this build just looks really boring being just jungle trees. And so far, I am loving this build. It feels more like I'm painting a picture than it does building in Minecraft. But for now, I gotta get out of that jungle. I'm losing my freaking mind in there. But I got the perfect project for us to work on, so hop on in and let's go. And to really get this project started, I'm gonna have to rehome a few villagers from a nearby village. And it may look like they're in a little makeshift prison cell, but I promise they're happy. And this monster of a project is ianxofour's Stacking Raid Farm. It gives more emeralds than you'll ever need, plus all the other raid drops, and it's relatively easy to build. I'm going to leave a link to the tutorial in the description below. Although I should warn you, you gotta be really careful using this farm. If you use it incorrectly, it could cost you your world. I also had to make a whole new sword that did not have flame on it, that way I could use the farm without breaking everything. And the drop rate is so crazy, I had no choice but to upgrade the storage because we were just burning resources left and right. And while I'm out here in the ocean building farms, I'm going to go build a little guardian farm because one of my next builds is going to need a lot of prismarine. But before we get to that, I want to build a couple floating bees overhead and maybe a few different types of bugs on the ground. And now it's finally time to test out some redstone. And in order to make this trap as effective as it can be, I'm gonna need to craft something I've never crafted before. And after correcting some redstone in the other two temples, I think I finally have everything in place. So I finally put that guardian farm to use and built these bushy flowers, but I didn't really like them the way I thought I would, so I changed them to tall grass, and then you're gonna see I'll change them into something else later on. For now, I'm gonna take a little break from that and just do a couple smaller builds and do some detailing. And after taking a break, I was ready to come back with a better mindset and had a much better visualization of what I wanted to build. And guys, I'm sorry it's been a very build-heavy episode. There's just a couple spots left to fill, and then we can wrap this episode up. I really like the new flower, but once that copper oxidizes, it'll look a whole lot better. I'm also going to be adding more tall grass to the background to help it look less like a Minecraft jungle. And now there's only one spot left I really want to fill, and I think I'm going to go with some very, very large drip leaf. Well, guys, it's finally done, and I absolutely freaking love it. It looks incredible. There's so much life in this build. And I think the past 2 episodes are just the break that I needed from Dreamland. I was kind of not feeling inspired, didn't really know where the world was going to go. But now I have a whole new idea for it, and I'm ready to go back to spawn and start building again, which I think is what we're going to do next episode. So see you next month for that one. And I'm going to leave you with one final cinematic before we go. So enjoy, guys. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe on your way out. Leave a comment and tell me what you liked best. And until next time, have a good night.